Coming up in the news, police officials investigating the circumstances surrounding two missing men. Also, $250,000 surprise for several not-for-profit organizations. And Grand Bahama mourning the passing of a well-known businessman. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shoshana Rowe-Farkas, and as always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, police are still seeking the public's assistance on the whereabouts of two men who have been missing since late last year. They are appealing for anyone with any information to come forward, regardless of how insignificant it may seem. He was set to appear in the Supreme Court for the retrial of the murder and kidnapping of Corporal Edison Bain, whose body was found in a deserted area near the Casuarina Bridge in October of 2007. Wilfred McPhee Jr. in 2010, after being found guilty, was sentenced to death by Acting Justice Miller, who deemed that the case was a brutal and heinous matter. But in 2011, the Court of Appeal quashed that conviction of Wilfred McPhee and his co-accused and ordered a retrial. Fast forward to last month, McPhee has since been reported missing.
Well, I cannot say how soon he would have left, but I know during the time of the start date of the trial, he was not present when court commenced. For now, he's being treated as a missing person because we have no idea where he is at this time. So we cannot speculate that he's just skipping bail. The family members have not seen or heard from him, according to the police reports. So as it stands now, he's missing.
According to police, family members would have reported McPhee missing days before the trial was set to begin. Now, did he have an ankle bracelet saying that he was on bail for murder, right?
He was on bail for murder, but the court makes those stipulations in regards to ankle bracelet, whether they should be fitted or not.
Was he fitted for one?
I'm not certain whether he was fitted, but I think at this point I can say he's not fitted. He was not fitted. If that was the case, they would have been able to track him. But so we cannot say where he is at this time.
Another man has also been reported missing around the same time. Pinel Louis, a.k.a. James Louis, a.k.a. Jamal Louis, is also considered missing. He was recently released from prison for murder. Louis, a resident of Columbus Drive, was last seen in December of last year. But police officials making it clear that at this point in their investigation, these two cases are not related and these two men remain on their missing bulletin.
At this point, he is being considered as a missing person based on the reports that were received from family members. And the police are doing all they can to locate both men who are reported missing. And hopefully we'll find them very soon.
Any idea
So
if these two men who are missing, if they know each other, if these disappearances are related at all?
There are no indication that those two persons are related, or even the mothers are connected. So there's no indication from the police standpoint that those mothers are connected.
But he adds that the police cannot say if McPhee is in country, but they have reached out to their international counterparts.
When it comes to Interpol and different foreign agencies, with the assistance to try to locate Mr. McPhee, thus far has proven fruitless. But the police have not stopped the investigation into those two men.
If you have any information on the whereabouts of these two men, you are asked to contact the police. Meanwhile, 31-year-old Reginald Woods of Paradise Lane appearing before Magistrate Charlton Smith on a number of charges. On the charge of armed robbery, he was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until April of this year. He was advised that he can apply to the Supreme Court for bail, but Woods was also charged with the possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. He pled not not guilty on both charges and was granted bail in the amount of $9,000 with one surety. The matter has been adjourned until April of this year. Also from the court, an Abaco man was convicted of rape, assault with a deadly instrument, and causing harm. 28-year-old Cameron Roberts pled guilty to the charges before Justice Andrew Forbes in the Supreme Court. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until March 29th, when he is expected to return to court for sentencing. Now, a probation report and psychological report are expected to be presented at that time. The charges stem from an incident that occurred in Sandy Point, Abaco in November 2018. Switching gears now, a cryptocurrency company that launched its operations in the Bahamas in 2021, making a donation of, get this, $250,000 to not-for-profit organizations in Grand Bahama. The presentation taking place at the Pelican Bay Resort, and as Ramiko Knowles tells us, it was unexpected and a complete surprise to representatives from those organizations.
FTX Digital, a cryptocurrency company based in New Providence, invited representatives from various nonprofit organizations in Grand Bahama to breakfast at the Pelican Bay Resort. But when they arrived and were seated at the tables, they found out that they were actually called for a major cash donation.
The Alpha Kappa Sorority Incorporated will receive $5,000. The Cancer Society of Grand Bahama will receive $20,000. Color Me Awesome will receive $5,000. The Down Syndrome Association will receive $5,000. Fast Track will receive $10,000. The Falcon Boys Club will receive $20,000. The Grand Bahama Resilience Center will receive $10,000. Home Away from Home will receive $20,000. The Humane Society will receive $15,000. The Jervis Community Center will receive $10,000. Charism Ministries will receive $10,000. Kevin Tomlinson will receive $5,000. Kingdom Life Ministries will receive $10,000. Lily Moxie will receive $5,000. Kayleen Newton will receive $5,000. Reach Out Ministries will receive $20,000. The Regency Theater will receive $50,000. Vessels of Purpose will receive $5,000. And the YMCA of Grand Bahama will receive $10,000.
$250,000 was given to support the initiatives of several nonprofit groups on the island. Vice President of FTX Digital, Valdez Russell, says the cash donation is simply a thank you for the work they're doing.
The Bahamas is our home. The people that you serve live in communities that we want to see better and more positively impacted. And these realities must drive us to constantly make a difference that impacts change, positively influences lives, and weaves together the tapestry for a better Bahamas.
Unaware and completely caught off guard, the recipients were in complete shock.
Wow, that's the first word that came to mind. We are so grateful. We do a lot of work with our young ladies and with the community at large, and it is so rewarding. It feels so good to know that someone sees it, someone recognizes it, and they want to assist in that effort. So we are grateful.
When we showed up this morning, I just thought they were talking about cryptocurrency, but all of a sudden I heard that the Falcons Boys Club was going to be one of the honorees today, and for that we are very grateful and thankful to FTX for their partnership.
I guess today is Christmas here in Grand Bahama. We're in a project right now. We're getting ready to build a hurricane shelter and expand on the Reach Out Center. We was in talk last night with the architect. So today, with the funding where we at, it's going to go straight, 100% of it is going to go straight into the project.
This is awesome, definitely unexpected, and we're so grateful for this much needed donation. This will definitely help us jumpstart our programs for special needs kids this summer. It's been 2 years since we've had our special needs therapeutic summer camp, so this will definitely start the process for us being able to pull a camp off this summer.
The Regency Theater received the largest donation of $50,000. President of the Freeport Players Guild, Preston Knowles, says the theater has been in need of funding for renovation and repairs for the past 2 years. He says they are truly thankful.
You know, they came down about 2 weeks ago and they just toured the facility with us and was asking us like what it was that we still needed. We showed them, but we had no idea that it was going to be in that amount. And like I say, I didn't know it was coming as soon as today, so it's truly a surprise and we are very, very appreciative of it.
Organizers say the donations will be used to support feeding initiatives and community outreach programs that positively impact the quality of life for Bahamians and residents. Rumiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Absolutely amazing. Well, New Life Worship Center officially launching the second season of its growing apprenticeship program. This year, the program is partnered with the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, and they're offering some 10 courses. A ceremony was held this past weekend to welcome the new cohort to the program. Jamila Mizik reports.
It is a skills training program geared toward preparing youngsters for the workforce, and it is back for a second time around. After much participation from the first cohort, the New Life Apprenticeship Program is back bigger and better. Welcoming the new program participants was chairperson of the apprenticeship program, Dominique Roach. Giving the keynote address, Roach noting that the program aims to assist in developing a well-rounded future, not just teaching a skill or trade.
We have to plant the seeds now. It's incumbent upon us to do so. You know, our children, they should not have to wait until they graduate high school to learn how to navigate through this life. They shouldn't have to wait to understand how our country functions. They should be well prepared prior to graduation, and that's our mission here. You know, Proverbs 22 states, train up a child in the way they should go, and when he is old, he will what? He will not depart from it.
Director of Education Marcellus Taylor stressing the importance of education being seen as a way of life, adding that values are also important.
You could be the smartest person in the world, and you could take that knowledge and make a bomb if you're a physicist, or you could find a way to bring water to communities that don't have water. The same knowledge does either create bombs for destruction or water for life. And so the point that I'm making here is that we must embrace and value all learning, whether it's academic, whether it's skills, whether it's values, whether it's attitudes. And we must use all of that as we could acquire it as we move through life to become the type of people that we're supposed to be. People who self-actualize, which means people who attain our full potential.
Education Minister of State, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, also addressing those in attendance. He says the success of a program such as this is all about partnership.
It's going to take tremendous focus to be able to start, continue, and complete a technical industry, one of these programs and courses. But it's not very difficult. It starts with you just grabbing someone by the hand and taking them with you and teaching them what you know. That is what apprenticeship is. They're going to work with you, and at the end of the day, hopefully, that will steer them in a direction where they would do the same certification, they would become the same technical person in that field, or it will teach them discipline to be able to navigate into new areas that they may be interested in. So I want to commend parents who are here with their children today, because it starts with you.
Now, Rhodes says many employment opportunities will be available to those who attain the certification in specified courses. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Jamila. Well, the South Abaco Local Government District making history, becoming the first district to have females at the helm for the second consecutive term. The new leaders were sworn in on Friday. Jacqueline Estevez was elected chief counselor, and Stephanie Robert is her deputy. Other members of the South Abaco Council are Shanique Bain, Annette Burrows, Charles Walker Jr., Michael Saunders, and Theodore Williams. The Moores Island District will be sworn in on Thursday. Local government elections were held on January 27th. Also, the North Abaco District Council officially sworn into office. D'Angelo Etchcombe is the new chief counselor. Joycelyn McIntosh is the deputy. Other council members in North Abaco are Michelle McIntosh, Unique Bryce, Elaine Saunders, Ebony Roll, Kevin Pritchard, Javando Hudson, and Torrin Russell. The council members were sworn in by Administrator Therese Boodle-Lang. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment.